Listen, I gave...
We are at the spot, guys. Holy shit. I never thought I'd make it, to be honest, for the sale, but we're here. There is a Barnes & Noble employee that is watching me like a hawk. So, gonna keep it quiet and brief, give you some B-roll. We're going incognito mode, assassin mode. Holy shit. You saw already picked up Perfect Days. You know I had to get it. Had to do it to him. And I'm also gonna get Almodovar's film, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. This was out of print for a long time, actually. But they just released new Blu-ray print of it. Very cool. Definitely gonna pick that up. And then, of course, the 4K of Perfect Days. That was my favorite film from last year. So glad that they added it. Still haven't watched this yet. I know I should get to it, but yeah, these are my two definites. From now on, I'll just keep a look around and see. Absolutely gorgeous seeing all these Blue Velvet 4Ks. I don't think I'll upgrade though, because it just came out. I still have my Blu-ray that I hold near and dear, but I did notice something I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh my god. That's so many last picture shows. What the heck? That's so many. What? We could assemble an army of Sybil Shepherds. That's great. An army of Sybil Shepherds would be insane, but oh my god, and Princess Bride? Wow. Perfect Days. Oh, I'm set. I'm set for life, guys. What was it I wanted to say, though? Give me a sec, I'll find it. I'm at a moral dilemma. Do I get Black God, White Devil? Or do I get Blood and Honey? They're both masterpieces. They're both... What the fuck? They're both probably... that's more expensive. So maybe not. Oh, here they are. The Three Colors trilogy. They just recently released the films separate Blu-ray. And I actually really love these covers they chose. I actually don't have the Three Colors trilogy anymore. I sold it way back when, but I would be more than willing to pick these up. I actually really, really support this, that box sets are releasing them separately. I could totally see them doing it with the Before trilogy later on. I don't know. Make it happen. One film I want to blind buy that I've not seen is To Die For from Gus Van Sant. Ever since this was released, I've been just really wanting to check this film out, specifically because of Nicole Kidman and this cover art choice. I've heard it's kind of like Nightcrawler before Nightcrawler. I don't know if I want to get the 4K though, because if the Blu-ray is the same new restoration, it is. It's still the same restoration. I might just do this, save $5. I don't think this is a film I want to get the 4K for. Like, it's not something as near and dear to my heart as Perfect Days, because of course I haven't seen To Die For yet, but I really want to check that film out, and I think it's worth the blind buy. And then that other Nicole Kidman film, ooh, The Others, it looks so cool. I really want to check that out too. I'm hoping that they'll do the same thing that they did with Denzel Washington last year, because they released Mississippi Masala, Devil in a Blue Dress, and then the heavy hitter Malcolm X came out in the same year. I'm hoping they do that with Nicole, her films, because they did The Others, To Die For, Dogville next, you know, Eyes Wide Shut next, Birth by Glazer. All three of those films are worthy of entering the collection. They don't really have a great Blu-ray or 4K release to them, so I greatly support that. I've been looking around for Breaking the Waves because that film recently got out of print, but I see Breaking Point. I see that. I see Boyhood. I just noticed this in post, but since when did they flip Ethan Hawke and Laura Lee Linklater on the cover? What the heck? So, don't think I'll do that. But if they have Silence of the Lambs, Silence of the Yams, I would pick that up because I just recently rewatched that film. I also rewatched Manhunter by Michael Mann. Oh, boom. I rewatched... Wait, is this good? Does this look clean? Yeah, it looks clean to me. I just rewatched Manhunter 2, and I think that film should enter the collection. Such a beautiful film. And scary. Terrifying for sure. Ugh. But you know, guys, I gotta say something about this. I really, really hate the packaging choice they did for Trainspotting.
Look at the top of his head.
This is so embarrassing. I'm not gonna pick the 4K up specifically because that. If they had the Blu-ray around, I would, but it looks like they don't. It looks like it's just the 4Ks, which is a shame. I love Trainspotting. As soon as it got announced, that was my #1 most anticipated film. But I found out they're just releasing like a little book. It's like a book, like, see, look. It just looks so flimsy and it's too tall. Also, it's like, and it sticks out way too much. It just looks horrendous. I don't like that. And I hope that they'll eventually release a standard case. Just like, you know, why did I tap that? A standard case like that. Hopefully they'll do that. Not that. I do like this though. This packaging is gorgeous, but there's so many of these movies that I don't care about picking them up. Pick it up later, you know, when they're less available. Oh. I know I just said that, but Soy Koopa is fantastic. Soy Koopa is an incredible movie. Oh no, do I dare? Do I dare buy these movies that are brand new? I kind of want to buy movies like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and Silence of the Lambs, like ones that have been out for a minute, and I don't think, and that they might go out of print soon. I'm trying to be strategic about that. I'm trying to be very strategic. Oh, this is Arrow U. No, I'm just kidding. I have some Arrow releases actually. I'm gonna look around. Ooh, Loveless. I've heard that's good. Might have The Dunk. The Dunk is cool. If only they had Farewell My Concubine available. That would be the way to go. But they do not. I will keep looking for other films. Even though I said I'm not getting new releases except ones that really matter, I am getting Anatomy of a Fall for sure. I really want to pick that up though. This new 4K looks immaculate. I love the new cover, but I think I'll wait for another time. I'd seen this online, but seeing it in person is so upsetting. They just turned this beautiful packaging for Dazed and Confused into this disc. It still looks pretty, but that magic is gonna be gone, you know. Which is kind of sad. A film that I think might go out of print. I recently just saw it show up. There it is. Devil's Backbone. I have not seen this yet, but I do. I want to check it out. I don't like how this is packaged. It's like alien spit is like acidifying this or something. Interesting package. I think I've gone through everything so far. So, yeah, I think I'm done with this Barnes & Noble. I will, immediately cut. Boom, we're done. So many, no books actually, 0 books in this haul. But this bag is actually an inaccurate representation of how many Criterions I bought. I actually went ahead and made an online purchase of some films, as well as way back when they were doing the flash sale in March, I believe. I picked up a few, so you'll know which ones I didn't buy in store because they don't have the little price stamp on them. But we're gonna dive in. We're not gonna waste any more time. Before I get into the haul, I want to ask all of you to like the video if you enjoy this kind of content. I know I'm mostly into Criterion's films regardless. I'm hoping to get back into my film essays because I just love talking about movies, and I love getting to hear your guys' opinions on the movies down in the comments. I love this little community we're building here, the Bill Griff army. I don't know what to call it, but I'm gonna dive right in. And with that being said, spine number 13, Silence of the Lambs by Jonathan Demme. I actually originally owned this film before I sold most of my Criterion collection, but I rewatched it and I fell in love with it again. It was like watching it for the first time again because it'd been so long, and I really love this film. I think it's near flawless. I feel like there are a lot of films today that are trying to copy this formula. Most recently, Longlegs is a contender for that, and I'm just really happy to own this film now in the Blu-ray. I know Kino Lorber has a 4K, or there's a really bougie 4K out there, but I don't care. If it's not the C, it ain't for me. That's what my boy Perry used to say from the Misfit Pawn. So, and while I'm at it, before I get too shaky, let me readjust this right there. Perfect. Don't mind this little smudge right here. Tried to erase that, but it would not get rid of. So we are moving on to spine number 259, Fat Girl by Catherine Brillant, or Brillant, I don't know. It's a French film, of course, 2001. I know she's making a new film that's coming out later this year, last summer, I believe it is. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet. I know it's going to be a Janus contemporary because they're distributing the film. And yeah, this is Fat Girl. I wanted to mainly pick it up because this is a rare film to find out in the wild in Barnes & Noble. And once I saw it, I knew I probably had to pick it up. I am not particularly a big fan of the film. I do think it's really, really graphic, and it's a film that, is not for the faint of heart. Kind of up there with Antichrist and Solo, one of those just really edgy, really icky films out there. I know there are a lot of people that do love this film, and I am thinking maybe of rewatching it at some point just to prep for Brillant's new film that's coming out. But I don't know. I'm just glad I own it, at least just to have it. It's one of those films in my little list I've created where they're really rare and they might go out of print. I just recently seeing that Breaking the Waves going out of print makes me a bit trepidatious on what will. So this is one of those films I just wanted to pick up, and yeah, I'm glad I own it. And there's a car speeding by, so if you hear cars or any noises, my apologies. Another film I got is 505. This is Make Way for Tomorrow, a Leo McCarey film from 1937, an old hell film. I know that this later inspired Ozu's Tokyo Story film, which is really awesome to hear. That was a big selling point to me. I also have heard that this is one of the most depressing movies ever made, and that I love because I love depressing movies. Y'all, if you've been here on my channel, you know I enjoy Depresso Espressos. I've not seen this yet though, so this was a blind buy. I'm very excited to watch this though, and just get more Leo McCarey in my life. We all need a bit of him. Speaking of which, we got another film, 622, Weekend by Andrew Haigh. I did watch this film before picking it up, 2011. It's heartwarming, but it also is a really accurate portrayal of loneliness, contemporary loneliness, how we feel so connected, yet we're so alone. I just love seeing little character studies like that explored, and through a queer lens as well is really interesting to see. I'm super excited for All of Us Strangers to come out on Criterion. Best believe picking that 4K up. And I also really enjoyed 45 Years by Andrew Haigh, which is another film in the collection. I debated picking it up, but nah, I'm fine with just Weekend. And this film is another blind buy, spine 666, baby. This is The Devil's Backbone by Guillermo del Toro. I have not seen this film yet, but I have seen the other two films in his little Criterion trilogy they had briefly, which was Pan's Labyrinth and Chronos. I enjoy both those films, particularly Pan's Labyrinth. Absolutely love that film. So I wanted to pick up Devil's Backbone. Plus it's 666. That's an interesting spine. And this is one of those movies that's kind of rare to find. I'm thinking might go out of print too. There's not really a good way to stream it unless you want to rent it. So I just bit the bullet, bought the Blu-ray. Why not, you know? This next film I've actually opened up and watched. I couldn't wait to just watch it. It is I Married a Witch from Renee Claire, or Reen Claire, whatever the person's name is. 676. This is just such a fun little film. Oh my god, it's barely an inconvenience. 77 minutes long, from 1942. I think it stars Frederick March and Susan Hayward. Who was it? Who's the main? Oh, Veronica Lake. That's it. Who plays the witch. This is such a fun little film. It's a screwball comedy about this witch who has put a curse on this family of the man who sentenced her and her father to perish during the Salem witch trials. And years later, their spirits have emerged, and they've decided to wreak havoc on the descendant of that person, Frederick March, who has absolute bad luck with women. It's just a really fun movie, and it's just something you can put on at any time and enjoy. And I love films like that, and I really wish I could collect more of them, so I wanted to pick this up. Absolutely love I Married a Witch from Reen Claire. And I highly recommend it to those who have not seen it. Want to watch a quick little comedy from that time period. We got 722. Best believe I had to pick up Almodovar's Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. This film was kind of out of print for a little bit. At least it was back when they did the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and then that went out of print, and then a new restoration of it came out, just the standalone Blu-ray, which I'm all for. Almodovar in the collection. Please, please, Criterion, if you can hear me out there somewhere in the cosmos, release more Pedro Almodovar in the collection. He's desperately in need of some Blu-ray releases, some gorgeous restorations of his films. The Skin I Live In, Pain and Glory, Voltaire, to name a few. Bad Education, you know, you could keep going. Talk to Her, oh my god, Talk to Her would be amazing. But yeah, I've just recently, like in the last 5 or 6 months, just fallen in love with Almodovar. He's easily become my top 10 favorite filmmakers working today. And Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, bona fide classic. Speaking of which, we got 739, Safe by Todd Haynes. Another film by Todd Haynes that should be added is May December. Almost feels like an Almodovar homage with the melodrama and the beautiful visuals, gorgeous set designs, and of course bombastic female performances. This film really is a special little gem, honestly, from the 90s. Julianne Moore gives an outstanding performance, and just something in my heart spoke to me and said I should pick up Safe from Todd Haynes, and I'm glad I did. This is a really good film. Next up, we've got 778, a really underrated Italian film from Ettore Scola, A Special Day. Trust me, it says, here we go, A Special Day. I Calde, or whatever that is, starring Sophia Loren and Marcello Mastroianni. This movie is really, really powerful. I mean, you don't really hear about it that much, and if you don't know what it's about, essentially Sophia Loren plays a housewife in Italy pre-World War II, 1938, and her husband is a full-fledged fascist, a full supporter of Mussolini, including her family. It's like she's got like 8 kids, and he goes out with them to celebrate the special day, which is Hitler arriving in Italy to become allies with Mussolini. Sophia Loren decides to stay back at the apartment, and Mastroianni plays her neighbor. The two have a very similar viewpoint of where the world is going, and it's kind of a heartbreaking film, but there is that hopeful message that you can find that sort of kinship with an unlikely person. So, I don't know, there's something about this movie I really love, and I knew I wanted to pick this up for a long time. I'm glad I did. A Special Day. Don't really hear it get talked about at all, and I think it is pretty underrated for that. Next up, we've got 855, the other Almodovar that I collected, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, one of my favorite Criterion covers. Oh, it's just, the pop art is so gorgeous on this thing. And this is so funny. It's such a funny movie. And just as melodramatic, just as bombastic as all of his other films. But this is definitely his most silly film I've seen to date. While most of his movies have that sort of fucked up, edgy theme to it, or like some really fucked up twist, this doesn't. This is just straight up, it's pretty self-explanatory, women on the verge of a nervous breakdown. But I'm very glad to own this film in my collection now. Please add more Almodovar, please. Please and thank you. 864, Being There from Hal Ashby. This is another blind buy, believe it or not. I know you're thinking, Bill, this is the most Bill-coded movie ever. And I totally agree with you. Once I read about it, and I've been recommended this film to death by my friends, I gotta get this film. I gotta pick it up, and I gotta watch it. And, you know, hopefully a truck won't be driving or speeding by while I'm watching it, too. 939, we've got A Matter of Life and Death from Powell and Pressburger. I was completely blown away by this movie and how beautiful and touching it is. It has this another film like Special Day where it's this unlikely relationship that's kind of like created out of war, particularly World War II, because it's about a fighter pilot who escapes death. And he was supposed to get his ticket to heaven, and the angels come back to tell him they messed up and he was supposed to die. But he's fallen in love, and he has to make a case for love. And this is a really beautiful film, beautiful Technicolor. And yeah, Powell and Pressburger, you can't go wrong at all. I'm really interested in picking up Michael Powell's film Peeping Tom, which just got back in print on 4K. It looks absolutely outstanding, but I did not pick it up for this haul, mind you, so a shame. Maybe next time. 958, we've got 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days by Romanian auteur Cristian Mungiu. Maybe that's how his name is pronounced. I don't know, but I haven't seen this film in quite a few years, but I've been thinking about it a lot recently. And, yep, the Palme d'Or winning film. And especially with what's going on in today's climate surrounding abortion, I do want to recheck this film out. I don't know, revisit it for sure. And I wanted to pick this up because, yeah, I think it's a really important movie. I want to check it out, and I want to be able to own it in my collection. Speaking of another film I want to own in my collection, 1012. Of course, another Almodovar film, All About My Mother. Probably in my top 3 favorites of his. This movie is just so gorgeous, and it's really hopeful too. I really love the message it sends about, I don't know, it feels like just a love letter to relationships, you know, friendships that can be spawned out of nothing. Women as well. Almodovar, I heard that he wrote this film because of his love for his mother, and I can totally see it with this movie. It just paints women in such a beautiful light. Yeah, I really love this film. Absolutely enjoy it, and I'm so glad it's in my collection. Another movie, bombastic romance, 1056, Moonstruck, Cher and Nicolas Cage. This is a film I did sell way back when, and I wanted to repurchase it because, again, it's one of those movies I've just been thinking of a lot recently. And with Longlegs coming out, you know, I love Nicolas Cage, and I think I should own this film again. The first 4K, I think, in this haul is 1191, The Trial by Orson Welles. This movie is absolutely thrilling and gorgeous to look at. I think the cinematography in particular is one of my favorites from this era, from the 60s, from Orson Welles' filmography. Honestly, I think that the cinematography looks much more visually arresting and stunning than, let's say, Citizen Kane. I don't know. This is kind of up there with The Third Man, where it's just like this mystery noir that's just caked in shadows and intrigue, and the way this film is shot is just absolutely gorgeous. Probably my favorite aspect for sure. And Anthony Perkins is tremendous in that role. Ooh, here we go. 1201, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So glad I own this film, and in 4K, this gorgeous digipack. This was one of my favorite films to release from 2022. As someone who really resonates with films about loving fathers and their relationships with their children, this film really struck an emotional chord with me. This guy also kind of reminds me of my dad, low-key, so that definitely hit even harder. I also love the animation style. It's crazy that it took, I think, a decade to make from Guillermo del Toro and his team, his amazing production team, and the animators behind this did a tremendous job. So yeah, I'm glad to own this film. Absolutely adore it. Pinocchio, gorgeous movie. Now, I think this is the last blind buy I have. 1213, we've got To Die For from Gus Van Sant, starring the incomparable Nicole Kidman. I bought the Blu-ray instead of the 4K because, I don't know, I just wanted to save $5. Doesn't really matter. It's the same restoration anyways, so I just figured, why not? And, you know, I've been on that Charlie XCX kick with Brat, and she loves this film. The way she talked about this movie was super interesting to me. I've also heard this movie be described as the OG Nightcrawler, just that person who wants to get ahead as quickly as they can through the news outlets and media, that they're willing to commit crimes and be absolutely psychopathic in the process of pursuing that fame and fortune and glory. And I love Nicole Kidman. I think she's a tremendous actress. Probably in my top, maybe my top 5 favorite actresses. Yeah, she's amazing. So I've heard this movie is one of her best performances. 1214, an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous film from Mika Kalatolov, sorry. This is Soy Cuba. Soy Cuba, 1964. I don't know what hasn't been said about this movie. It probably has the top 10 best cinematography uses of all time, like the use of its camera, the long takes. It's so beautiful, so it's kind of insane how ahead of its time the cinematography is in this movie, and the portraits of Cuba, the multiple stories, are very I don't know, it sends a mixed amount of emotions, which I really appreciate. Particularly, I really enjoyed the first story the most. That sequence through the village, where the narrator says, "Don't run away, look at me," you know, it's just so fucking beautiful. Just really love this movie. So glad it's in the collection too. There was like no way at all to watch that film, and now I'm happy that it's got a gorgeous 4K restoration. I can't wait to crack it open and see what it's like. 1218, we've got Anatomy of a Fall from Justine Triet. I know a lot of people were talking mad shit about this cover when it got announced. I don't know, I don't mind it that much. I think it's fine. I know it is an airbrushed kind of painting of the main character, Sandra Hüller's character, which I like. I'm glad it's that and not like a screen grab like The Piano Teacher or something. But this is one of the best films to come out from last year. I think it's an expert courtroom drama and has, I don't know, a lot to say about what we take in as the truth and what we want to believe in. And the way this film ends is so good, so breathtaking. You guys got to check it out if you've not. I'm sure everyone has, though. It's a pretty popular film. Another popular film from last year, 1226, Perfect Days from Wim Wenders. Another one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. And this movie was actually my #1 favorite from last year. You know I had to pick it up in 4K, get to see Koji Yakusho scrub them toilets in 4K quality. I need to see as many pixels as I can with that. I've been thinking about doing a video essay on this movie, just dedicate a whole video to my love for it, and I think I might do that because this movie really hit, and I think it's a really important movie to release in today's culture. The idea that we have to have a career set in stone as soon as we turn 18 or as soon as we are out the door, out of the nest, and Perfect Days just kind of shows that you don't need that dream career to be happy. You can find happiness outside of your work. There's a lot more that it says other than that, but that's just one example of the themes. There's so many themes that's tackled in that movie I absolutely love. And the final movie that I picked up is actually no spine. It is a contemporary film, Godland from Janus Unus Annus. This movie's fucking gorgeous. Oh my god, guys. There's so much to love about Godland. It takes all these aspects of movies that I love and just clumps them together in this kind of... Oh, where does he go? Is it Iceland? I believe it's Iceland. I don't know why I'm tripping. Okay, yeah, Iceland. Just a really emotionally powerful film. And yeah, I really love it. I don't know. I don't really want to say too much about it because you might want to check it out for yourself, but that's it, guys. That's the haul. I'm actually really proud with what I picked up in this sale. You know, there were a lot of recent releases I wanted to pick up, like Le Samurai, Black God, White Devil, which is fucking amazing. Oh my god. Peeping Tom, and also Farewell My Concubine, but I don't know. I wanted to pick up some of these older films. All of the Almodovars, had to collect them all like Pokemon. So yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Please comment down below, what did you pick up for the sale? I'm eager to know, and I'd like to know which of these films is your favorite. What's a movie you'd want to hear a video essay from me about too? Because I don't know, might be doing that. Yeah, please like and subscribe if you're new and you appreciate film content, Criterion content, anything you like to hear what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you have a good day and watch a good film. That's been Bill, guys. We'll see you later.